What's up, beautiful people? Welcome to the Dr. Joy Show, your prescription for total wellness, and I am your host, Dr. Joy. I have two guests today. They look like sisters, right? I know when you see, but they're mother and daughter. But before we get started, you know what we do on the Dr. Joy Show? We take it down with 3 deep breaths. Are you ready? Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. How do you feel? I know I feel great. And boy, you guys did some really good deep breaths. I want to welcome Jordan and Lynn. Jordan and Lynn to the Dr. Joy Show.
Yes.
Last name is Osborne. Now, you guys, I know you say you mother-daughter, but I don't know. You could pass for sisters.
Good
you guys
genes.
look fabulous.
Your good genes.
Yeah.
So great genes. Hey. So you are the founders of Divine Divas. And I'm reading this because I don't want to mess it up. So don't judge. Offerings include education to make better choices for our mind and body by replacing toxins of all kinds. So you have the toxins could be, I'm cracking up here because you said products. I get that. Medications. I totally get that. And you're going to share your story. But you put people.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, girl. Because them negative folks, they need to be like flotsam and jetsam.
That's the first thing to go.
Yes, encourage them to go. And so you do that with healthier alternatives. And Divine Divas also encourages healthy living from head to toe, bottom line.
Yes.
Welcome to the Dr. Joy Show. So I know both of you have stories to tell. So who wants to go first? We'll let the daughter go first.
That's
Okay.
right.
Okay, Jordan, tell me your story.
Well, I was diagnosed with lupus and fibromyalgia when I was 24, and I've been trying to change how
That's okay.
I've been trying to change how I live my life. So I went back to school.
Good for
I got
you.
my education in medical office management, but that is not what we do as Divine Divas. As Divine Divas, I am a licensed cosmetologist and massage therapist.
Ooh.
But because I can't work as that anymore, I use my knowledge to share tips and tricks on how to live healthy and treat yourself and pamper yourself.
I love that.
Yeah.
So see, you didn't let your autoimmune
No,
challenge get in the way.
I did for the first year.
You did.
And then I just had to get out of that mindset and realize that I still had things to offer.
Right.
So I went back to school and got my courage back. And by doing that, I got a job in a field that I was out of my comfort. I'm not a medical record processor or anything like that. My wheelhouse is in beauty. And
Yeah, girl. Look at you.
oh, thank you.
Well,
So,
good for you.
yeah.
Now, how did you come to figure out that it was lupus and fibromyalgia?
Through countless doctor's appointments that
What were your symptoms?
it started with hand and feet pain, and fatigue, chronic fatigue.
Really?
I was exhausted all the time. I still am most of the time, but that wasn't what the doctors were picking up on. They were just picking up on, oh, you said you have hand and feet pain, so maybe it's arthritis or something like that.
Also, your anemia.
Yeah, and the anemia. So they were focusing on other things. So I was really Googling and trying to figure things out for myself, which my mom said don't do because she's a nurse and she's like, don't self-diagnose.
Dangerous.
But I did, and I was like, this is lupus. And I was telling the doctor, I'm like, I know what's going on with my body.
Right.
These are the symptoms I'm having. This is what's going on. And through that, they finally started picking up on it.
Oh.
But
So
by then she was in the hospital.
Yeah, for 10 days.
oh, and that's when they picked up?
Yeah.
She was diagnosed just before she ended up in the hospital, but our doctors were in Newark, and although they were part of the same system,
Right.
the information wasn't in the computer. So when I rushed her to the emergency room because she couldn't breathe,
Oh.
yeah, and her heart rate kept going up, they kept saying, well, we don't know. And then her lymph system was completely out of whack. She had biopsies, everything.
Oh, wow.
Everything just flared at the same time.
Oh.
And so she ended up in the hospital in January of 2015 for 10 days. And then when they finally let her out, she was on bed rest and couldn't do anything for like a month and she wouldn't eat anything. She's like, I don't know if that's what's causing it. Yeah, she kind of got depressed, and
Right.
I'm like, you got to do something. I said, you might not be able to go to work, but you can go to school online. You got to do something to get yourself.
To get your self-esteem.
I said, because
back.
you still have stuff to offer. Just because you
Right.
can't do what you were doing, we can find another way
right.
to help you accomplish your goals.
Look
So
at that.
I don't want to take over for you.
No, no, you're not.
But that was kind
How
of
we do it.
yeah, that was kind of how like it progressed with her, because every time she walked, she had tachycardia, and she was on telemetry and everything. It was like, and I was grateful, although I couldn't work because of my own conditions.
Right.
I was grateful that I couldn't work, because then
Well,
I
you
could be
were
at the
there.
hospital.
You were there for her.
I could
See,
be
that's
there.
the blessing.
That's
the
why I say,
blessing.
everything that happens for a reason. And if I was out taking care of other people,
then
I
she
couldn't have
would've-
been at my daughter's bedside to make sure she was getting what she needed to get.
And she got better care because her mama was taking
sure
care
did.
of you. Your mama is taking care of you, and she's in the medical profession, so you were covered.
And every time something didn't go right, I was talking to the doctors and the nurses saying, this has to change, because it's not helping, it's not correct. And, first of all, you're not listening to what she's saying is
Right.
going on. So you guys need to take a beat back and listen to what she's saying, because we know our bodies best. And I knew from my own experience.
So tell me your story too.
Okay. Well, when I was 40, I thought I had everything like going as I had planned it finally.
Oh yeah.
We just closed on a house. House needed work, but it had like 5 acres, and I was working 2 jobs. I was working as an assisted living administrator, and I was working as a realtor. We had just come back from vacation, and I woke up with hearing loss. I woke up and felt like the world was tilting. I felt like I was underwater. I knew what my husband was saying, but I couldn't understand what it was.
Oh wow.
In my left ear, and we went to the doctor, and he said ear infection. I'm like, it's not an ear infection. I know it's not an ear infection. So I started going to all these specialists. I went from New Jersey to University of Pennsylvania, back to New Jersey, and I ended up at NYU and then Columbia for my hearing. And the doctors kept saying, oh, it's not going to happen again. It's not going to happen again. And then on her 17th birthday, 16 months later, woke up, same thing in my right ear. So by this time, they didn't know it was Meniere's, but it was symptoms. And I ended up being idiopathic, which means we don't know.
Yeah.
Endolymphatic
still
high
studying
drops.
it.
Right. We don't know what it is, but we know
Okay.
that you can't hear anymore. But in that process, I noticed that the professionals that were supposed to be helping me didn't give me any guidance. Like, they told me I had hearing loss, but they didn't give me any resources. They didn't tell me about support groups. They didn't tell me
Wow.
about anything that I could do. They didn't offer me a hearing aid until I had bilateral hearing loss. So it was 2 years before I got hearing aids. And so I started searching for myself, and I found support groups. I got involved in helping other people, because I said, well, maybe as I help other people, I can learn more for
Exactly.
myself. And I had other things going on, too, that the doctors weren't picking up on. I was ultimately diagnosed with Sjogren's, fibromyalgia, and then
Wow.
the autoimmune hearing loss.
And then you told me in the green room that you were rear-ended.
Yeah, I was
So then you had back surgery as well.
I have had 3 back surgeries
Oh, jeez.
and 2 cochlear implant surgeries.
So you have hearing aids in both.
Well, they're processors. It's connected to electrodes.
Okay.
So this is a magnet and attaches to my skull, and
Right.
the other part is on the inside, which activates the processor on my ear. So I have 2.
So do you think that your life journey has spawned you to form Divine Divas?
It most definitely has.
Okay, so was it that motivated you, or was it something else?
I've always wanted to own my own business, and so has my mom. She always wanted a family business. And we took our passions to help women look and feel their best. So that's what motivated us to create Divine Divas.
So what's it working? How's it working, mother-daughter? Like I said, y'all look like sisters. But how's that relationship going?
Well, for me, Jordan has always been, Jordan's my youngest. I have 2 children, her and her older brother. But Jordan has always been like on my hip. And I tell people all the time, she came out 6 weeks early and she's been running my life ever since. But in a good way. So to me, it was just natural. It's nothing different than our normal, mother-daughter relationship. To be in business, we feed off each other.
So do you have distinct roles?
Yes.
Pretty much.
So what is your role, Lynn?
She likes for me to be the front man, to talk to people and bring them in, find things for us to do. I find a lot of events and workshop things for us to offer people, and she is good with the social media.
Oh, wow.
And also because of her background as a hairstylist and massage therapist, I can use her when we talk to people about those aspects, because Divine Divas is like an umbrella for the other things that we offer.
And what are the things that you offer?
We offer products through social marketing companies.
Right.
Primarily Monate, which is naturally based hair care, non-toxic. It's good for the whole family. But it's also a company that values are in line with mine personally, because it's a family-owned business. It's made in America, and they're all about giving back. So part of Divine Divas, although we're a business, we always do things to give back. We do fundraisers. We just did a food drive for the holidays to take food to local food banks.
Oh, that's fabulous.
So, when we first started and we first joined ETT Women, which is how we connected, our first month we were doing a month-long fund drive for the foundation to help women. So that's first, because I believe if you give first, you'll get back more.
Oh, you absolutely will.
And that's part of, the divine part, because we fully believe that this business is inspired and driven by our belief in God.
So we have photos here. You want to tell me what those are all about?
Well, we all have hair traumas.
Yes.
I've had lifelong hair traumas. Jordan and I were talking on the way here. She loved dolls and hair since she was a child. Me, on the other hand, because I got a perm when I was 4, going to school, and my hair came out.
4?
4. I got 2 perms, actually.
4?
4. I started kindergarten when I was 4, and I had very curly, thick hair.
Okay.
And because my mom was a nurse working 3 jobs, and there was really no one to
so she did the perm to make it easier.
My sister, to make it easier to manage my hair rather than trying to use the straightening comb.
Right.
And I had been to the beach, so when they put the perm on, it burned.
Ooh.
So they took it off.
Ooh.
And then they thought 2 weeks later it'd be good to take me back and try it again.
No.
Yeah, so I went through being teased, by the girls called Fuzzy Wuzzy. In school, Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear, Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair, all those things. So I just wanted to show, my story. That's when, in 2006, before my surgeries, I felt like my hair was probably the healthiest.
Okay.
And then, after the surgeries and the medications, I started losing my hair.
Wow.
And this is now after I've been using Monate since March.
Wow.
Since May. I'm sorry. We found out about Monate in February or January, but I didn't actually start using the products until May, and that's my hair now.
So wait, May. So you're talking about 7 months later, and you have a full head. Your hair is gorgeous.
Thank you. Thanks to Jordan.
Well, thank you, Jordan. Wow. Okay, so, and then we have here.
Yes.
This is Jordan's photo. So tell me about this one.
Well, the before picture was from medication-related hair loss from lupus and fibromyalgia medication. And then 2 weeks later, I started experiencing some growth. And then a month later, I started experiencing full growth.
And this was due to the Monate products?
Yep, it's all from the Monate products. I use this spray right here, which is our Intense Repair Spray.
Right.
Which I sprayed on 2 times a day and massage it in. And it helps to promote healthy hair growth.
So are these, I know I'm jumping all around, but are these products organic?
They're not organic. They're naturally based. They're botanical, but there is a small amount of a non-harsh chemical to preserve it so that it has shelf life.
Right.
Because you don't want things to start growing, and so it's not organic. It's not completely natural, but the chemical that is in it is just a small preservative that is not harsh and not toxic.
What type of hair?
All types.
Yes.
All
ages.
types.
We even have children products, 0 to 99. Men, women, doesn't matter.
Yep.
You see my face?
I see your face.
Okay, so
We have,
yeah, go ahead, talk about it.
this is our catalog. I just want to show that there's men.
So let me hold it up. We'll hold it up so people can see. So these products here are for men and women.
Men and women and children.
And children.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the little girl there. Oh, wow, she got a whole lot of hair. Wow. And all races.
All races.
Okay.
And with the whole
Ethnicities,
thing,
all.
the whole premise is that, it takes your hair back to its most natural, healthy state to promote optimal hair growth. So it removes the toxins and the buildup from your scalp, from the bulb of the follicle,
Right.
to promote your hair to grow the way it should be before we do all the stuff that we do. But that's the keystone of what we do, because we believe that through the business part of Monat, we can build our business to have her spa and salon, and my ultimate goal of having a bed and breakfast that has her spa and salon in it, so we can offer retreats fully.
So you're working on that. That's
Yes.
your goal.
That's
is
our
our
goal,
goal.
because we want
You
to
will
have.
get it. You will achieve it.
Yeah, that's what I told her. I'm like, you can use this business to still get your spa and salon. You can own the spa and salon. You
Right.
don't have to work in it. You know what I
I
mean?
never wanted to work in a spa and salon.
She's
I've always
No, but
wanted
you
to.
can you can oversee.
That's
Yeah,
what
don't
that's
have
what I've
to-
always wanted to do.
Yeah,
And
because
you will achieve it.
Yeah.
she felt like with this, she wasn't going to be able to do those things. And I said, no, you can see an opportunity here where you can make the money to have that business that you wanted to have, and the freedom to run it as you want and not work. So that's my goal, to have the family business that incorporates all those things
Yeah.
for us, and be able to still help people relax, because sometimes you just need to disconnect. I know for me, hearing is work. Hearing now, I don't take it for granted, because I can't wake up and just hear. I have to turn stuff on. I have to make sure batteries are charged. So sometimes you just want to disconnect and not have to
Right.
be charged up all the time.
So you said that Divine Divas, is an umbrella.
Yeah.
And Monat is one of the spokes. What are the other two spokes? Or what are the other spokes? I shouldn't say two, because it's probably more than two.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Well, Jordan offers Posh, which is also,
What is that?
Posh is also bath and beauty that is naturally based.
Okay.
And I offer lemongrass spa, which is organic and natural. So that, if you want makeup, there's an alternative. You don't have to use makeup that's harmful or been tested on animals. And all the products, especially Monat, gluten-free.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, because a lot of people have gluten allergies and don't
Allergies,
even know it
yeah.
until they go to use a product, because you don't expect those things.
Right.
So
Those
these-
fillers and
Yeah, so we have
Oh, we
products
won't
that
talk about fillers.
we can use products that don't have those hidden things that are harmful to us, and be guilt-free. You can still look good, you can still feel good, because that was for me. Building my self-confidence after losing my hearing loss, I had to have somebody make a phone call for me. So I'm going from running businesses and having
To be independent.
to be totally, and I'm used to being the caregiver,
Right.
not being cared for.
Right.
So it was very, very hard for me. So I had to find something that I could still use the skills. And as the more I did, I'm like, oh, I have
can do
this.
this, though.
I can do this, and getting out in front and talking to people, doing this. This is huge for me, because I still feel self-conscious. Like, do people hear me? Am I saying it right?
I
Am
hear
doing
you clearly.
that? And,
And
do
the
I
viewers
sound?
and the viewers see you, and they also hear you.
So this to me is a huge, huge step. And a year ago, I probably wouldn't have said yes to this, but I'm grateful that I'm in a space now
Good.
that I can accept it.
So who and or what inspires you to push forward?
my mother is my inspiration. She always has been. From watching her run those assisted livings and be a top selling real estate agent when she was doing real estate, it was always what motivated me to want to own my own business and open my own salon, because I felt like if she can do these things, this is what I'm meant to do. Maybe not in those fields, because, you know,
Everybody has their gift.
hair has always been my gift. I started doing hair in daycare. I got kicked out of daycare for doing hair.
Oh, and you were in daycare?
When I was in daycare.
When she was 5?
She was 4.
4. And you were, okay.
Yeah, they called me and said she won't stop playing with the girl's hair. So, and
I
they
wasn't playing. I had a vision.
Exactly. And
Oh, well, there you go. And they didn't know anything about it.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so I always tell her, you were meant to do this, because at 4, we had to find a new school for you because you wouldn't stop doing hair. I don't see the problem. The girls look good, so.
Yeah, and their mama was probably happy too.
Exactly.
So how do you overcome dealing with your pain of your conditions?
For me, I started taking more conscious steps. Like I told my doctors, first of all, I gained 100 pounds from the medications.
Oh, yeah.
And the surgeries.
Steroids. Yep.
Yeah, so I gained 100 pounds, and I looked in the mirror one day and I said, I don't know who that is. I donated all my clothes. And I said, this stops now. I said, don't buy anything else for me. I had gastric sleeve surgery.
Okay.
Because I couldn't, every time I tried to exercise, I would injure something.
Right.
And I'm like, this is not me. Before this, I was walking 5 miles a day. I did yoga. I did Zumba before Zumba was a thing. You know, back when it was just the CDs at home.
Right.
I rode horses. I was active.
Right.
So to go from that to, I didn't know myself.
Right.
So I did that, and I told the doctors, I'm going to be off all these medications, because I went from no medications to 13.
And probably some of them,
they were all
they
causing
canceled each other out.
Exactly.
They had all these, what we would call in the holistic world, poisoning effects.
Exactly. So I lost the weight. I told the doctors, actually, when I went for my exam a couple of months ago, I said, I'm off of all the medications. And she said, good for you, because I also found another doctor that supported that, because I'm like, they're not helping, they're hurting.
Right.
And then you get labeled, especially when you're on long-term pain medications. I didn't want that. I didn't want that stigma.
Right.
Because I'm taking it as I'm supposed to. I'm not abusing my medications, but I don't want that.
But that's what society thinks. So how has gratitude helped you in your healing process?
Giving back has always been something that I've wanted to do. And by giving back, I'm able to help other people, which helps me.
Because it's not all about you?
It's not.
Yeah. And see, that's a great message. And sometimes, I mean, of course, we want everything to go perfect, right? But there's no such thing as perfect. And we have to learn how to deal with what's in front of us and take the good, the bad, and the ugly. Yes, I quoted Clint Eastwood, whatever, but that movie was so good too. But you take the good, the bad, and the ugly, and sometimes the bad and the ugly turn out to be real good blessings. Like in your case, when you said that you were totally dependent, situation happened with Jordan, and then you were there for her.
Right.
So it's just pivoting your mind and being open to saying, all right, well, this is what happened now. I'm going to deal with it. Yep. So what's the message you would like my viewers to, what would you like to leave them with today?
You want me to go?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Well, first of all, I believe that we all have talents that we haven't ignited.
Right.
So sometimes when you feel like you are at a barrier, there's always another path that you can take.
Right.
So dig deep, like, again, using my experience. When I couldn't hear, I still could use my writing, because I love to write. I could take pictures. I could make jewelry. There was a lot of things that I tapped into that I wouldn't have. And I don't take this as, people say, oh, I'm so sorry. I said, well, it's a blessing. Because
and they don't understand when you say that, right?
They don't, because
so
I've met people.
Then you have to explain.
I do.
Okay.
I've met people. I've done things. I've pushed myself outside. I lost my hearing, and I went to a conference by myself for hearing loss, not knowing anybody there.
Right. Oh, so, that's huge.
Yeah. And so I did those things because I'm like, I am still Lynn in here. Even if I don't know who Lynn is right at this moment, we'll figure it out on the way to getting there. So I'm constantly touching things that I didn't know that I could do, or I did know, but I had put aside.
Mm-hmm.
And I suggest that you do that too.
Yeah. Tap into those untouched or uncharted talents.
Yeah.
Jordan?
I would say, where did I pick this up? I'm not sure who said this, but pain is optional. I mean, pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional.
Ooh. Say that one more time.
Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional.
Mm-hmm.
Because no matter how I feel, if I'm in pain one day, if I get up and I show up and put some makeup on, do my hair, I will feel better.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll be able to present my best self to the world.
Yes.
And that's all I want to ever do. And share that with other people.
Pain is inevitable.
Mm-hmm.
Suffering is almost like a choice.
Yes.
See?
How you deal with it.
Is how you deal with it.
It's all in our attitude. Now, always try to have a positive attitude.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys experience depression at all?
I did.
I didn't acknowledge it at first
Right.
because I'm like, people say, oh, you must be depressed, you must be angry. I'm like, well, I have to keep on going. I don't have time to think about that right now.
Right.
But I did go to a counselor for a while.
Oh, okay.
It helped some, but I just knew, that's part of the reason why when I lost my hearing and I knew I wasn't going to work in nursing anymore,
Right.
I went back to school to
Good.
complete my degree in psychology because ultimately I want to do wellness or spiritual psychology.
Good.
So,
Good for you.
Yeah, so.
Good for you. Did you want to add something, Jordan?
I didn't. I think when you're diagnosed with any type of autoimmune condition, some sort of depression it's gonna happen because you're changing everything that you know about yourself.
Right.
So just have to push past it and find something that gives you hope and a meaning, a source of meaning.
Yeah, that's why we did this, because we want to, and we want to offer, starting next year, we're going to be offering like self-care workshops. So it doesn't really have anything to do with anything, but you just pamper yourself for a little while. We're starting with making terrariums, a plant night in January.
Oh, wow.
Where you just come and make a terrarium, go with your inner kid for a little while and just do something, we haven't done in a while.
How can the viewers find you guys?
You can find us on Facebook. All Things Divine Divas is our handle. You can find us
We have
your
the
Instagram.
Okay, you have a blog too. It says Divine Divas, your guides to healthier beauty, self-care workshops. You launching them next month.
Yeah, next month.
Congratulations. Hair consults. All right, hair detox. Ooh, you're probably going to get a lot of people for that. So you have a Facebook group, a page, and a blog, and they can find you. Your email, lynn.osborne@allthingsdivinedivas.com. Perfect.
Yes.
Well, I want to thank you. Don't worry about it. I want to thank you for being a guest on the Dr. Joy Show.
And we want to
that?
thank you for having us.
Oh, that's so nice.
It's a little treat for your feet.
Oh yeah, girl. This is lovely. Can I use this for men too?
Yes, you
Absolutely.
So I will share with my husband.
can. A nice sugar scrub.
Oh, this is nice. We're gonna use that tonight.
Oh, well, and let us know.
Because I read something that that you massage your feet at night and it helps you sleep better, helps reduce your blood pressure. So it's all good.
I believe that. So, yeah, and let us know how you like it.
So I'm going to close out by saying, if you have a life-altering circumstance, you have a choice. Pain is going to come, but you don't have to suffer, okay? Until next time, be blessed, stay healthy. See ya!